All right, so we're back into our weekly live sessions. So I'm gonna wait for everyone to join, and I'm just gonna comment a little so that we know what we are gonna talk about. All right, so this is Iris, and I'm part of the Renoon's team. And today I'm in a very sunny place. I'm in Italy, and enjoying the last bits of summer while having this beautiful live. So so today we're having a very exciting live. It's a question that probably a lot of you have been asking yourselves, indeed, about vegan leather. And we invited someone, which we're going to introduce you to now, which is going to tell you all about it. She's already here, so I'm going to let her in. Cool. Because as you guys know, as part of the universe of conscious fashion, veganism is one of our values. So here we have Annick. Hi, Annick.
Hello,
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, good as well. I was mentioning I'm in Italy for a while, so it's a pretty nice here. So
It looks beautiful. It's not so nice in London.
yeah, well, it sort of helps, but also not to work. So
That's true. That's true.
yeah, yeah. So, well, welcome. Happy to have you here, and actually, really interesting and curious about what you've been building, and also the knowledge that you have regarding the questions actually, and the theme of today's live. As
Yeah,
usual, we're gonna do this 15 minutes live. So you can go ahead, introduce yourselves.
sure. So my name is Annick, and I'm the founder of Immaculate Vegan.
Mm-hmm.
We are a relatively new lifestyle and fashion platform for living ethically and sustainably, and we also have a curated shop. We've been around for just under a year.
Mm-hmm.
Vegan leather as a topic is one that's very close to our hearts.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So yeah, we're really curious to know all about it. Maybe you can give us a little bit of also a perspective of why also from your side the decision to create a space and place that was entirely dedicated to vegan, and what does it actually mean when we buy fashion products?
Yeah, sure. So I think, um, I became vegan about 4 years ago, and the food part, to be honest, was relatively easy. And
Mm-hmm.
that just got easier and easier now. But I think
Okay.
what I found really hard was I was looking online for vegan fashion, so vegan shoes, vegan bags.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and what I found was really sort of disappointing, initially. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's generally stuff that there wasn't much out there at the time. It tended to be not very contemporary. Some of it just looked really horrible. Kind of, all the stereotypes you think about maybe with vegan fashion.
Yeah.
So I thought, my God, this is going to be really hard. And then I went onto Instagram and started, just looking for different vegan, ethical, sustainable products. And I found there were loads of really beautiful brands out there, really beautiful products, but they
Mm-hmm.
just weren't they weren't mainstream, they weren't well known, they weren't easy to find. So at the time, I started just an Instagram blog essentially, so curating and putting together what I thought was, the most beautiful products out there. Um, and then eventually, I thought that there was really a market for being able to sell those products. So yeah, we launched just over a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah,
nice.
that was the need really, and I think even since then there are quite a lot of sustainable marketplaces and sustainable platforms. What we haven't found is anyone else that's doing 100% vegan, really premium, high quality, very sophisticated design-led products that are also 100% cruelty-free.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, totally understood. And is it so basically your story is that you started to have a vegan diet, and that's how you also started to look for vegan products, so to extend
Yeah,
the lifestyle
exactly.
into also fashion. Okay.
Yeah.
And so is then vegan clothing also only something for vegan people, or yeah, how would you actually um yeah, looking at also at it as as a sustainable value?
Yeah.
What is
Yeah,
it?
I
Yeah.
think sustainability has a massive part to play. So I think, just as many people now are going, meat free for certain numbers of days a week, or they're trying to incorporate more plant-based eating because they know that it's not just about health, but it's
Mm-hmm.
about sustainability and the environment. Exactly the same is true for fashion and lifestyle as well. So what we see is that obviously we have customers that are vegan, but we also have a lot of customers, in fact, the majority that aren't vegan.
Okay.
But they
That's
are, I guess that
interesting.
what's termed that sort of conscious consumer, right? So I think there's two things. One, they're really interested in trying to buy things that are cruelty free, but also sustainable. So they want to, they're aware of the impact that leather and other animal materials has on the environment. So that's definitely a factor in it. I think also the other thing that's becoming really interesting is that now there are so many amazing, really innovative materials that are vegan.
Yeah.
And people are getting really excited about those as well. And, they're making the headlines. So they're being seen as actually sort of the things to try out and buy now as well, even over and above animal leather, which is lovely to see. So yeah,
Yeah,
vegan
exactly.
fashion is absolutely for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, some of the bags I would also say like amazing, and then also like you have this extra thing. But what is really impact of vegan leather is that how in the research and also the philosophy that you're doing in your marketplace, are you selecting also based
Yeah.
on that? What is your
Yes.
perspective on this?
Yeah, we are. So we definitely describe ourselves as a vegan and sustainable marketplace. We're definitely not just
Okay.
vegan.
Mm-hmm.
I think, look, overall, I think there is concern about some vegan materials and some vegan leathers, particularly the ones that, are described as plastic. I think in
Mm-hmm.
reality, there's just such a huge range. What a lot of people don't understand is also just how bad animal leather is for the environment,
Mm-hmm.
So there's a Pulse of Fashion report, which you might be aware of, that looked at from cradle to grave the impacts of materials commonly used in fashion. And leather is at the top. It's twice as harmful to the environment than polyurethane, which is a very commonly used vegan leather, which is made from plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the not so great vegan leather. So leather's twice as bad as even the plastic vegan leathers. So from a sustainability point of view, I think pretty much if you avoid animal leather, you're already kind of
Mm-hmm.
going in the right direction. But in terms of the kind of materials we look at, so the one to really avoid is PVC, so polyvinyl chloride.
Okay.
A lot of people
Okay.
heard of it. It's very, very durable, and it's pretty cheap, which is why it is used by particularly a lot of the fast fashion houses.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is very toxic. So its production uses a lot of very toxic chlorochemicals. Definitely to be avoided. And we don't sell products that have PVC in them. In terms of the kind of most common vegan leather, so polyurethane or PU is used quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's really variable. So even though it is better than animal leather, it can be, not so great. It is still a petrochemical derived product. But it really sort of depends on how it's produced. So there are suppliers
Mm-hmm.
that will produce it relatively sustainably.
Mm-hmm.
In Europe, for example, there are very strict controls over emissions from PU. So most of our brands who do use PU, produce it in manufacturing in Europe. But you can also now get polyurethane that's made of plant-based oils. So quite a few of our brands are using that. They're made from CO2 neutral or even negative, plant-based oils that are not grown for food consumption. So that's really exciting. We have brands that are using recycled plastics as well. So they're using waste products, taking those out of the environment, and obviously reusing those to create vegan leathers as well. So that that's really exciting. But probably the most exciting stuff is the leathers that are made from, I'm sure you've heard of these Pinatex, which is pineapple leaf fibers.
Yeah, exactly.
Apple skin leather, which uses the waste products of the core and the skins of apples that are from the apple harvest. There's mango leather, there's wine leather, there's cactus leather. So there are loads of really exciting fabrics. We tend to, we really try and seek out brands that are using those kinds of materials. So recycled materials and all of those, really interesting, innovative plant-based leathers.
Yeah, exactly. Now, do you notice a difference between this new innovative leathers? What is really and also like in terms of reusability of the product and also the durability of it?
Yeah. I have an example here. Do you want me to show you something?
Yeah,
So
sure.
I've got a bag here, which is an
Yeah.
apple leather bag. I don't know if you
Okay.
can see that.
Yeah,
So
nice.
that's from a brand called Ashoka that we sell at Immaculate. They're a Parisian brand, and they use apple leather a lot. I mean, to be honest, this looks like leather. It feels like leather. I mean, that's the really nice thing
Yeah,
about
it
apple.
definitely looks like leather.
It really does look like leather. Whenever I wear this, I always get comments like, oh, I love your leather handbag, and I sort of, it's really fun to be able to say it's not made from leather. It's made
It's
from apple.
apples.
That's
Nice.
always lovely. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I
exactly.
think the ones I've seen. I mean, there are certain leathers that just like apple skin leather that's very very flexible that can be made to look like lots of things. Where the quality is really high, the durability is really high. It feels and looks like leather. Um, there are others like Pinatex where I don't know if you've seen Pinatex. It doesn't look like leather. It
Yeah.
does look different. It's got that
Yeah,
sort
it
of
looks a bit
wrinkles type of
different
look.
indeed.
It's great on metallics. Gold, silver, that kind of stuff. But it's a beautiful material in its own right. Cactus leather, I'm really excited about. So we have a couple of brands joining us soon who are using cactus leather,
Cool.
and that
Nice.
looks amazing. Because if you think about, what a cactus looks like, take off the prickles, right? It's got that very smooth, kind of quite leathery appearance.
Yeah, yeah.
It's supposed to be a really high quality leather, again, very, very durable. So I think, the quality is there. I think, in fact, there are lots of things that vegan leather has as characteristics that are better than animal leather. So, for example, it's scratch proof quite often. It's
Okay.
waterproof.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually doesn't damage in the same way that animal leather does. It's often a little bit more resistant in some ways. But yeah, I think the quality is definitely there for a lot of brands. It's like anything, if you buy from a good brand that has really invested in the right materials and in the craftsmanship,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to get the quality.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, definitely. And that's a really important then message. I mean, definitely so being waterproof and also being durable because I think yeah, it's something that also culturally I hear it a lot. Just urban spe talks
Yeah,
that say indeed, oh, I'm gonna buy this thing made with leather because I know it's gonna last me long.
yeah,
Or I would rather not go for a vegan leather because I don't know, it's gonna melt on my feet
yeah,
or yeah, this kind of comments.
yeah.
So yeah, it's really great to hear. And also, do you see it culturally? Are there yeah differences, and how do you see that also changing?
Yeah, I mean, I think there is still that kind of misconception around vegan leather, and I think that leather's had hundreds, if not thousands, of years to position itself and market itself, right,
Yeah.
as the most durable, as the most luxurious material, and it is just marketing, because those things aren't really true. I mean, leather is only durable because of the tanning process. So, an actual animal skin isn't durable at all. You couldn't make a pair of shoes out of it. It would, they would rot on your feet. So the only way to make leather durable is to put it through a very, very toxic, chemical-based tanning process, which is horrible for people, horrible for the environment. Um, but I think that's not how it's sort of presented, right? Equally
Mm-hmm.
around the sort of the luxury tag. So, the sort of made in Italy, buttery leather, all those words that, phrases that we see all the time used to describe leather. We're kind of having to fight against that to some extent. I think what's helping is that one, I think, is just exposing the facts around leather, right? So it's really showing, well, how is it actually made? What does it really entail for animals, for the environment, for the people that have to, work in those tanneries to produce it? None of those are nice things. So, what we try and do in Immaculate is just, approach it without any judgment at all. I mean, we've all been there. We bought leather. We thought it was great as well. So I
Yeah.
think we just try and show what are the facts, inform people, and then present them with really great alternatives. It's not about telling people they're bad for buying leather. It's about showing them, wow, there are some, these are amazing brands, amazing products, amazing materials. They look fantastic. You don't have to compromise style at all. Wouldn't you rather buy this instead? So I think it's just, you've got to show the positives, I think, of making the changes.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely, totally agree. And yeah, really looking forward about the for the cactus leather
Yeah,
to
it
add
looks
that.
amazing. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah,
It is an
exactly.
expensive leather, but it is supposed to be incredibly high quality.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. So as a last thing, if you had 4 minutes to save the world, what would you actually do?
Wow. Okay. So that's not very long. So I'm assuming I've got some kind of superpower. Um, I think it would be to try and persuade everyone to go vegan. Because I think, look, I think at the moment with climate change, most people feel, well, certainly I do anyway, very overwhelmed by it, right? In terms of, what do you do? We can all see that it's happening, that it's getting worse. But as an individual, it's very hard to know what you can do. The reality is there are lots of things you can do because it's not one thing that will save the planet. It's so many, the causes are many
Hmm.
and various. But I think there are some things that have the biggest impact that are the simplest to do, and one of them is going vegan, or at least trying to reduce use of animal products, whether that's diet, whether that's fashion, whatever it is. So yeah, I think that's what I try and do. I try and persuade people to make more vegan choices anyway.
Exactly. Cool. Super nice. So yeah, really, for those listening, give it a go. I think
Give
it's
it a
also
go.
a great way to experiment and really like feel it yourself. So thank you so much, Annick. It was
Thank
really
you very much for having me.
inspiring and super, super interesting. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Cheers,
Thank
Irene.
you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.